So this is what happened in Kenya. When the church started, when the shoemaker came here, he appointed the 16 elders. And he went through around preaching and baptizing some. And I think the number 300 something, 300 maybe 350 according to the history. They are those who became believers. But among the believers, they were chosen 16 elders from different places. And these people, when they were chosen, they were not together. Because they would just go to Eldoret, preach, baptize, ordain some elders there. Go to Mulanga, ordain some elders there. So our Kenyan history is a lot, it encountered a confusion because these people were not together. The shoemaker, when he brought this, he never brought these people, the elders together, so that he can give them leadership management, so that he can have one management system. It never happened so. I don't know, because maybe he was quick going around and he wanted to go back, but he did not have time to sit together with the elders, which he had to do. But we have got this history because, like me, I believe in 1981. Now, I'm coming back to our Kenyan history. So, confusion started from the day one because there was no proper management of the elders who were chosen. They never came together. They were never brought together. So when the shoemaker went, each person went with his own leadership style. Like us. The group now I was baptized in is a Mugainanga. As he has said, I'm saying among the 16 there were so many elders, okay? But those among those who are very active, it's Mugainanga, Gatitu Macharia, and other, but some of them they were not active. They stayed where they were. So when the church started to grow, just a few people were active. Plus, the one who was the overseer is called Samuel Wafandi. And it happened to me that I met him. I met him.
Samuel or Mogaya?
I'm saying, there were 16. And among them, the who was overseer was Samuel Wafandi. He was the overall. And this is what happened. When shoemaker baptized, okay? When he baptized and he wanted to ordain, he is not the one who was ordaining. He gave that power to Wafandi, and he told, this is your overseer, and he is going to do this work. So it is those 16 elders who are not ordained by shoemaker, even Gatitu Macharia, who are ordained by Samuel Wafandi. Are we together?
Correct.
So, I'm giving you so that when you ask question, you know where we come from, me. So when you ask your question, you will be directed with your thought, I'm asking this particular question. So what happened? To me, I was baptized in 1981. When the church has grown up, imagine it came here in 1970, and I'm coming in 1981. The church has already expanded. So, Mugainanga started his group. And there was another group of Gatitu Macharia, which was very different with Mugainanga. Very different. And if I have time, I can explain why it was different. Yani because Gatitu Macharia just almost went alone. And there was some reason why he went alone. Because the other elders, when shoemaker went, they started fighting each other. So Gatitu Macharia did not want those fighting. That's why he went alone and concentrated with his work alone. So we never met with Gatitu Macharia. But there is an instant where we are going to meet with that one. So after being baptized in 81, I stayed. I was baptized in the group of Mugainanga, but I was baptized by a pastor who is called Joseph Boraya. He lives in Molo. But now I think I was told he is a bit sick now. But he's the one who baptized me. And I was in secondary and I in a boarding school. So I went back. I went back to school until I finished my O level. That was 1984. 1984-86, I went to A level. Finishing A level, I was called to go to minister as a preacher of the church. Let me tell you something. Before that, when they went to register the church, they registered the church under Jerusalem Seminary Church of God. That was back 1970. And when they registered that church, the one who registered it is Obadiah Karabu, and that is the group of Gatitu Macharia. Now imagine, Gatitu Macharia was very fast beside the other elders. So he went and registered, together with a person who was called what? Edward Karabu, an elder. So when they went there, they were asked, what is the name of your church? They said, Church of God. Then they were told, here we have another Church of God of Sunday. So they asked each other, what can we call our church? They said, because we have Jerusalem, let us call it Jerusalem Church of God. Because when you go to register, you have to do some search. Whether maybe the name that you want to register has been taken by another person. So they were told this name, Church of God, has been taken by Sunday. But I said, we are Sabbath, so go and write that one, bring us. So they had discussed, two of them, and they said, we have picked the Jerusalem Seminary Church of God. That's how it was registered, by two people. That is now back 1970. And you see the other 16 elders.
This is now Edward Macharia.
Yes, but another one we called Edward Obadiah Karabu. Two of them. So, what is happening to the rest of the elders who are ordained by Shoemaker, and they are not quick to go and register? They have to come to the umbrella.
Edward Macharia.
So Edward Macharia at that time, he had many ministers here in Masai land, all of them. What happened to Samuel Wafandi? Someone came and said he has fornicated a woman. The elder said, okay, if he has fornicated, we are going to excommunicate him. What is the system now of the church? It has been disrupted because the overseer has been tainted and he has backslided with a woman. So, Edward is his own. Muigai Nganga is his own. He started his own. So me, I believe on the group that now of Muigai Nganga when they were preaching, that's where I had the good news. And I was baptized by the word of that pastor called Joseph Moriah. That is back 1981. So, what happened? When I was baptized in 1981, there was a lot of very big fighting in Kenya of churches, which is separated now the church almost in three sections. Because some came and said, we don't do feast. They only do Passover, but the rest we don't do. So that's where my zone was born, 1982. They started fighting. 83, they divided. What did they do? The name Jerusalem Seventh-day Church of God was removed. And I have those documents by these non-feasters, and they replaced the Mount Zion Church of God 70. But the registration number remained 5,900.
5,900. So Mount Zion 7 days should have gone now replaced Jerusalem.
Yes. Yes. But what they did is that there was a person who went to the registration and diverted the name from Jerusalem to Mount Zion. So Edward was left without any church. Muigai were left without any church. So we were now left on the mercy of Mount Zion. Mount Zion was saying, we don't want to hear anything to do with the spirit. We don't want to hear anything with the feast. Okay? And even if you have a church they are building, it belongs to us. People are threatened all around. That's when I started now, 84, when I'm going to that 83, people have started being restricted. 84, I'm starting to go and preach. Where did I go to preach? I went to preach for the land of these people, Kipsigis, Nandi.
Under Moganyana.
Yes. But you see, being baptized by Migai Manganga, we were doing our Sabbath in Lanet at that particular time. Yeah? We were doing Sabbath. My elders, okay? We were doing Sabbath at Lanet. From here, you will just walk about 2 hours. That's where my elders were.
Yeah, Lanet, I saw the place.
Yes. Yeah. So at that Lanet, there were those elders. One was called Simon, and the other one was called, I'm forgetting the name. They were my elders. So this is what made me to go to Masaini. Edward, in 1989, in a way it's called Mugaigana, was good. He had almost churches also in Masaini. So he was called to go to ordain some elders. Mugaigana. So he told me, because he knew I was a preacher and I'm a Kikuyu and I was around, can you accompany me?
1989.
1989. You know, that time I'm just going around from 1986. I'm going around preaching all those. Most of the churches, even if you go to Kericho Naro, I'm the one who planted them. And I was not alone. We were with a team. I think he will also understand. There's a lady called Sarah. We were praying together. Even in Kitale, most of the churches, I'm the one who started there. As an evangelist, I was not a pastor. So I have already played my role as a preacher for almost 9 years. What I was doing, preaching, calling the pastor who is nearby of the church to come and baptize. Until one day a woman said, I've seen you becoming a pastor.
A woman?
Yes, was shown. And I want also another minister. Was shown I'll become a pastor. But I told him, I cannot be a minister here because I'm in a foreign land. And one of the traditions of a minister, he must have a charge of his own, where you are taking care. So I told them, I come from Nakuru. If I'm going to become a minister, I need to be there. So at this time, when we were with Muigai Nganga, he suggested, when we were in a particular big meeting, I'm going to ordain this person. You know this person very well. Yes, we know him. He has been a preacher, a good preacher. I'm going to ordain to become a pastor. I said no. If you want to baptize to make me a minister, take me back to my mother church. Go and ask recommendation from there. They will commend you whether I'm enough to get a pastor, to be a pastor. You see what I'm saying? Correct. So it never materialized. Those ministers said, no. If you are not going, we are going to ordain you. I said no. You know why I was doing this? I had realized our church is in a big confusion. And there are so many groups, and I don't want to be of a particular group without doing whatever is happening. What is the real thing that is happening? Because there are so many groups. I refuse for that issue. This one. I was ordained in 1994, but in 1992.
1994 or 1992?
1994 was the time I was ordained. But 1992 is the 1991, 92 is when I went to preach to Italy. Although even the Italy church there, all those areas which were dominated by Bamuyenganga.
So what was the first name who ordained you?
No. I'm going to get there.
Okay.
I'm going to get there so that when you ask me question, I'll be able to answer you correctly. So when I went there, that's why I'm giving a story.
Yes.
So when I went there, I preached there. And I met those people of Zionists and what, and I planted some churches. Fortunately, I met someone Mushiwa Fandi, the first overseer. That's when I got a good time to talk with him. I told him, now, I've been preaching around and this and this and this.
That was when he was already chased away.
Yes, but now he's out, but I've met him. He has come and attended some Sabbath with some fellow. And I thought this was the first overseer, someone Fandi. So I said, it's good. I sat with him. I asked him, now, there's a proposal I have to be a Messianic, be a pastor. And I've been preaching all along to Masai. You know, I believed in Muigai lineage. And these people are from different lineage. Okay? What would you tell me? What would you suggest to me? He told me now, these people know how to, they can kill you anytime. And each person is pulling on his side, so you become a witness group. But if it is the Lord who has appointed you, don't hurry. Don't hurry. Don't be quick to be ordained. Hold on. That person, if the Lord is the one who has shown, He will bring you the time of, suppose the person who is the correct person to ordain you at the specific time. So I continue my evangelism work and forget about this. But I was not loved because I was passing territory. That time we had New Jerusalem. We had Mount Zion. And we had Gatitu Macharia, Jerusalem, but I did not go there. I did not have time to interact with the Gatitu Macharia group.
They still hold the name, but it's not registered because the registration...
Even not that. I did not have time to work with them. So I did not have time. The other groups I had time to work with them. But Gatitu Macharia, I did not have time. So, from the advice of the overseer, I kept that one. I said, no, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to hurry. So we would go to an occasion. I think you have heard somebody Elijah story. He has become another overseer for Jerusalem and we are gone. Let me go back. 1989, when Muigai Nanga went there to ordain his elders, he gave them conditions. Told them, now you have to observe 9 feasts. So that I ordain you, you have to do this and this. They refused. If not that, I'm not going to ordain you. He gave them some conditions. In fact, which were very hard to accept. Now let me bring now Setenei. Setenei was among the person from Nandi where I had preached was proposed to be ordained by Muigai Nanga. But what happened? Muigai refused because these people have not agreed to his terms. So what happened? When Muigai went, the other pastor, there was one called Mosop, and he had gone the present overseer, and he just saw him, casted some rods, and said,
what name were they using, this group?
Oh,
This group was Yokon and the other pastor you just mentioned.
Let me come back to you. Gatitu Macharia is churchless because of the Mount Zion.
Even us, still holding the name.
Even Gatitu Macharia, even Muigai Nanga is churchless because it was held by one Mount Zion who had taken from Gatitu Macharia. So the church was, all the whole church in Kenya was left without any name. Only Mount Zion. And we were now working on the mercy of Mount Zion. So no one could do what? Could do anything unless Mount Zion. And if you do, they go and call the police.
Because they have the same registration certificate number.
Exactly. And if you buy any plot, they are going to snatch from you. So I want you to see the situation. So we were calling ourselves Church of God, but it is not recognized. Are you getting what I'm saying? Edward Macharia was calling himself Jerusalem, but it has already been taken.
It's not,
Edward
it's
Macharia
not
is,
recognized.
and we fought 1988 a very big battle in Lemuru, whereby we wanted now to exchange the official so that we remove from the Mount Zion. But they brought a lot of police. It was very bad, it went very ugly. 1988. So 99, Muigai goes to ordain. Those people who are saying, we are not Mount Zion, not Jerusalem, but Church of God. But they believe Muigai is a better man on their side. So they call him to ordain. Sitene was abandoned. That pastor from, now you see what, you see that man?
I met him.
You met him. So he was among them. He was proposed because we had already planted so many churches, and those churches needed to have pastor. Because I was preaching, people come in, we call a pastor from Kericho. So it reached a time that the church has grown. So what do we need? We need some pastor. So he was among the one proposed, and who was supposed to ordain them? At that particular time is the word Muigai saw me. And he told me, can we go together? We went to another place called Mam when he was chased away. I said, because you come from us, let us go together. We went to another place. We reached a place called Chimamit. He told me, why can't I ordain you? I said, no. That's what he told me. No, I told him no. Because I could see some fighting behind me, whatever happened, and these people have revealed. So what happened at that particular day? Those people casted some laws, those 3 people. And the lot fell on Yagon, Prophet Yagon. So he ordained those people. Satan was ordained among them. Now remember, I want you to refresh your memory. There's no Church of God 7 days. There's no Jerusalem 7 days, only Mount Zion. And I'm a preacher. What did I start thinking? How we can bring back our church. In my mind.
Under your gun.
Not under a gun. I was not under a gun. Me, I was an independent preacher. If you can get from that what I'm saying, I was preaching, calling a pastor near that church, okay, to come and baptize. Me, I was a mere preacher.
You accompany Muigai Nganga where he ordained.
Muigai Nganga, he came because he was called to ordain elders. But he saw me. I was a Kikuyu like him, preaching around here, so I know a lot of him. So he proposed that I'm ordained. I said, no, I have to go back to
your place.
My church. And my elders are there, so they can permit. He said yes. So we came here. That was 1992. We came to our church. There was that what I was calling Simon. There were 3 of them. The other one was called Joroge, and the other one was called, I'll give you the name. So we came and sat down. Here until Olkalau, there was no pastor. There's a college called Nduri, there was no pastor. So they said, if this man is good, yeah, and we have seen his work, you can ordain. So 2 elders accepted me. 1 refused. Say, this man will not agree unless he stay here. We look his work so that we can comment. Secondly, he's not married. We want a pastor who is married. How is he going to counsel people who are married? So Muigai told me, now I'm going to recommend you to take you to Mombasa. You go and preach there. At that time, Muigai Nganga were together with Ezekiel, that of Kogma. You know Kogma, Ezekiel Puregaraja.
I heard the name.
So we went and slept at his place. And decided, he told me, now, I want you to take you to Lamu. And we were supposed to go 2 of us. There was a pastor called Mbogu Nganga. So you are going to accompany Mbogu Nganga. You are going to preach there. He is the one who is going to recommend you. But what we are going to do, we ordain you as a deacon first, then a church elder, then a pastor. You know what I asked them? When Shoemaker came, did he have that protocol of you first starting from a deacon to to this? Or he just ordained you as a pastor? He said, I told him, why are you doing that? Because now you see you are not married. You want to see that the Bible says it's not quick. Do not lay hands quickly on a person who is a novice. I told him, I'm not a novice. I know everything. But because you have refused that, I will not go to Mombasa. Now we started fighting in Moinga on that point because I refused to go to Mombasa. Yeah, I refused to go with Bogwa. But Boya was my good friend. I was a good friend. We fought each other, but the other time he came and said, I want Gatitu, we go together in Molo. You know Molo? Because I was able to preach between the Kalenjins, I would also interpret between Kalenjins and the others. So he said, this man is a good man, although you fight him, you have refused. He told me, I'm not going to force to ordain you, but I want you to accompany me to Molo. I went to Molo, we made a meeting with them, not knowing this person I'm calling